Hello everyone, hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Chepandi, Cheputalsu Ledu Kadu, that means how you people? No, that is not the meaning, but yeah, for me that means that. So again, Hindu analysis, 30th August 2025. Today is 30th August, today is Saturday. Oh my god. Generally we feel when it's Saturday, that means the news are not so good. I have done an editorial today. I will show you that editorial, first editorial of the day we'll talk about. That is one of the most dense editorial I have ever read in my life, and that was so awesome. That whole thing will give you so much clarity on so many different aspects. So we'll talk about it, and I think I'm audible and visible to all of you. You can connect. Yeah. I'm audible and visible. So let's start the discussion. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Telegram. Although I'm not much on active on Telegram these days because of too many responsibilities. So yesterday I gave Good morning, Anandu. So yesterday I gave three MCQs as homework, MCQ 10, 11 and 12. So this is MCQ 10, which is related to difference between index of industrial production and index of 8 core industries. And what is the basic difference? Yeah. Good morning, Hannah. So what is the basic difference between, good morning, Rishi, what is the answer of MCQ 10? I think many of you gave the answer yesterday only. Oh my god, I'm still in awe of that particular editorial. Do tell me, there are two editorials, or they like we'll be doing today, two editorials. Both editorials are awesome. One is more awesome, more important from UPSC perspective. So again, the answer of this particular question is, as Anandu stated, C. IIP covers mining, manufacturing, and electricity. ICI covers 8 key industry, and UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it. We have done that particular PYQ yesterday. So this was an important article which we did yesterday. MCQ 11, what is the answer? Sterilization, vaccination, deworming. And this was the last article of the day where we have talked about Rajasthan. So to say, very good, Rishi. Rishi is such a good boy. Sterilization, vaccination, deworming. What is the basic difference between them? And again, I think many of you answered it yesterday only, but still, and again, Rishi has given the answer D. All of the three are correct. Sterilization, vaccination, and deworming, their definitions are correctly written. Which of the following state has become the first in India? Very simple, very easy question. Very good, Anandu. Very good, Rishi. Very good, Hannah. You people are so good, just like a wow. MCQ 12. Which of the following state has become the first in India to issue a detailed framework on street dog management in compliance to Supreme Court directives? The answer is the answer is as stated by Hannah first, Rajasthan. So MCQ 10 C, MCQ 11 D, MCQ 12 C. Now let's move on to the present and today's article. This is the article I'm talking about, page 6 editorial. In an unstable world, energy sovereignty is the new oil. Oh my god, the things which Srikant Madhav Vaidya sir has talked about, many of the things, I'll be very honest with you. Very good, Hannah, Rishi and Anandu. I have heard it for the first time. So, and this is a good article. You will uh, understand so many different things. Iberian Peninsula blackout. What is the basic meaning here? Then, what are like 5 things around which India's energy sovereignty revolves around? So, there are certain things which may be known to you. Like this thing. India imports 85% of crude oil, 50% of natural gas. We are very dependent when it comes to crude oil and natural gas. And because of that, the talk about this editorial revolves around energy sovereignty. So if again we go back to the headline of this article, see here. In an unstable world, energy sovereignty is a new oil. We are too much dependent on other countries. We have to reduce that dependence. And in that regard, this particular term energy sovereignty comes into picture. Why this particular article is important from UPSC perspective, GS3, you have energy. And not only GS3 infrastructure, energy and all, even from GS3 environment perspective, this particular article is very important. Okay, so India import 85% of crude oil, 50% of natural gas. Have a look at this. Russia. Now, Russia, since 2022, Russia has become India's largest crude supplier. Now, we have to understand why this has happened. Earlier, we were dependent on West Asia, which is Middle East for European countries and America, but for us that is West Asia. Now, why we are we are importing maximum oil from Russia? Why? Because of Russia-Ukraine war, there were too many sanctions which were imposed on Russia, which made Russian crude oil cheap for us. So now Russian crude oil was cheap, and that's why we started importing lots of Russian crude oil. And USA did not like it, and that's why all these tariff game is going on. Cool. 7-day energy crisis in Hungary. Exactly. So discounted oil eases cost but create vulnerability because we were too much dependent on Russia. And Russia is currently very volatile. If you see these numbers are fine. Like $77 billion merchandise imports, oil is and gas is $170 billion. So we know these things. Many of you, if you're serious UPSC aspirant, you already know about these figures, how much dependent we are on oil. But then there'll be something in this article in the subsequent slides which may not be known to you. Israel-Iran tension nearly disrupted 20 million barrel per day. Why? Here we were talking about Russia, how Israel-Iran tension has disrupted our oil. What we just said, earlier we were too much dependent on West Asia. Now that dependence has reduced, but it has not eliminated completely. We're still dependent on countries like Iran. When these wars are going on, there was a disruption. And that's why, again, if you go back to the title of this editorial, energy sovereignty is so much important. We are so dependent on these countries like Iran, Russia, etc., that if something happens there, so many things we have to like comes into picture, which we will understand. And then there is something called as renewable energy. Like, there are, and that's where environmental aspect comes into picture. You have UNFCCC, they keep on talking about how we have to use clean energy, etc. But this editorial is saying that it's easier said than done, dude. If you see, 80% of global energy, 90% of transport fuel is still fossil fuel dependent. Solar and wind, 80% of global mix. So it's, you can keep on talking about renewable energy, promotion of renewable energy, but energy security is not climate policy alone. It's survival strategy. If you don't have oil, then how will we survive? How will our infrastructure survive? So many things are dependent on oil. So easier said than done. That focus on renewable energy, focus on renewable energy. These 3 points, focus here. Fukushima disaster made us realize that we cannot be too much dependent on nuclear energy. It comes with its own set of challenges. Russia-Ukraine war, Europe's reliance on Russia exposed. Iberian blackout, Spain, Portugal, they faced grid collapse because of too much dependence on renewable energy. We still, there are so many unknowns when it comes to renewable energy. Still there are so many things which are not known to us when it comes to the proper uses of renewable energy. And because of that, that was not the only reason. Because of that, grid collapsed in Spain, Portugal, and some portion of France. Iberian blackout, some people even died also. So again, this editorial is raising a very valid point. You talk about renewable energy, but you also understand or need to understand the reality. What is the current reality? Plus, global energy pivots often follow crisis. So things happen, and according to that, where we will be shifting, whether we'll be shifting towards Russia or West Asia, all these things happen. India should pivot by foresight, not by force. And currently, US is trying to apply the force. And according to this editorial, we should be pivoting by foresight, which we are actually doing. Whether we have to buy oil from Russia or West Asia, that is dependent or that is determined by our strategies. These kind of force or forceful tactics by US will not hold too much. Again, hope you are understanding where we are going with this. Now, this is very important. This slide is the most important slide of this editorial. And then there are some words which we have to understand. What is the basic meaning? What is green hydrogen? How it is different from blue hydrogen? What is pumped hydro storage? What is this India's energy sovereignty doctrine? This thing you have to use in GS3, means energy, and when it comes to environment also, how we will tackle all the uncertainties when it comes to, energy. So let's focus here. Coal gasification. What is coal gasification? So coal, you are converting it into syngas, synthetic gas. So you are converting it into gaseous form because it is much more cleaner. This is coal gasification. You're making syngas, synthetic gas. So why we are doing that? Because then it will emit lesser CO2. What is the problem with it? Our coal, it has too much ash content. Ash content. What is this ash? Is it Ravichandran Ashwin? No. Ash means we have high ash content, our coal, because of which we are not producing enough good quality syngas. So again, coal gasification is one strategy of ours so that we are emitting lesser CO2, thereby conforming to the standard of UNFCCC, Paris Agenda, and all the, NDCs which we have made. So this is coal gasification. Please understand this. We are trying to convert coal to syngas, synthetic gas, lesser emitting, like pollution emitting. Then biofuel. What is biofuel? So you have, fuel which you're getting from sugarcane, crop residue, algae molasses. So this is biofuel. In that we have something called as ethanol blending, E20. So E20 is what? You have ethanol, C2H5OH, you're blending it with petrol, 20% petrol, 20% ethanol, 80% petrol. Thereby, you'll be importing lesser amount of petrol, thereby increasing our energy sovereignty doctrine. So this is biofuel. And in this, again, there is something called as Satat scheme. Hope you can understand how dense this particular editorial is. And that's why I'm continuously, good morning, Mamta. And that's why I'm continuously telling you that this editorial is one of the most dense editorial I have ever done. So biofuel, hope you understood. In the subsequent Hindu analysis, we'll talk about different generation of biofuel. If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. What are different generation of biofuel? First generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. There are so many other things which we have to talk about in this article. So let's focus. Satat scheme. What is Satat scheme? Sustainable, and like this is about transportation. Sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation. So here, now what is important from exam perspective? Which year it was launched? Which ministry is the nodal ministry? What they're promoting? Compressed biogas. We have just seen what is biogas or biofuel, which we are getting from crop residue, sugarcane, algae, etc. So that is biofuel. And that from that we are getting biogas. Biogas is the gaseous form of that biofuel, and here the main component is CH4, methane. So again, you can understand. Good morning. Okay, so Mamta and Rishi, they are having to and fro. Again, you can understand. They can ask you in biogas what is the main component. CH4, methane is the main component. So compressed biogas. So it is a purified and compressed form of biogas. It has more methane content than a normal biogas made by anaerobic digestion of biomass. That means a reaction is done in the absence of oxygen when you are creating this compressed biogas. Again, you don't need to do PhD here. These are some keywords which we generally, get confused about, and that's why I've given you. We'll solve some question, you will remember all these facts and figures. So again, we are talking about India's energy sovereignty 5 doctrine, 5 pillars. Coal gasification, then the second pillar is biofuel, we have talked about it. Nuclear energy, again it is stagnant because there are so many things. Thorium, we have to have a proper roadmap for thorium, how we will utilize thorium, monazite sand, Kerala, uranium partnership, plus security issues associated with nuclear energy, Fukushima disaster, etc. Green hydrogen, the fourth sovereignty doctrine. What is green hydrogen? So you have water, H2O. You do the electrolysis of water. So you break it into H2 plus O2, and then you balance it out in chemistry. So when you are breaking like water using green energy, that is renewable energy, that is green hydrogen. Oh my God. Chip and these people, am I clear up until now? Because this is a very very tricky editorial, you have to understand these doctrines. Most of the people will be mugging it up. So green hydrogen, you're breaking up, you're doing the electrolysis of water, you're breaking up water into hydrogen using renewable energy, then it is green hydrogen. Now we can break water any which way, right? It's not like we have to use only renewable energy. If you're using renewable energy, then this is green hydrogen. Hydrogen produced using renewable energy through electrolysis of water. You split H2O, made H2 and O2. This is green hydrogen if you're doing it using renewable energy. But if you're doing it using natural gas, or again natural gas and then there is CCG, then it is blue hydrogen, then brown hydrogen, based on what source you are using. So again, hope you understood what is the basic meaning of green hydrogen. So that's it for now. And how it is different from gray hydrogen or brown hydrogen, it depends upon which method you are using to do the electrolysis of water. So it was our fourth doctrine when it comes to energy sovereignty. Very, very important article. Do make a note out of it, in your GS mains paper 3. So green hydrogen, we have certain target 5 MMT per year. Again, forget about all those things. Just remember what is green hydrogen. Then pumped hydro storage. What is pumped hydro storage? So this is about hydroelectricity generation. So generally what happens when you have low demand. So let's say there is low demand. Then in that scenario, so there is something called as lower reservoir, there is something called as upper reservoir. So what you will do, you will pump water from lower reservoir to upper reservoir when there is low demand. And then when there is high demand, you will pump this water from upper reservoir to lower reservoir. And because it will be coming from upper to lower, so the kinetic energy will be very high. That will be used to rotate turbine. Oh my God, I'm writing behind me. That will be used to rotate turbine, and that in turn will generate electricity. So this is pumped hydro storage. Hope you understood pumped hydro storage. You are storing or you're transferring water from low reservoir to higher reservoir when the demand is low. So you are in a way tapping the stored potential energy of water by converting it into kinetic energy when you will be transferring water from higher reservoir to lower reservoir during peak demand time, and that's how you will generate electricity. Did you understand the pumped hydro storage concept? Rishi, Anandu, Mamta, and other people? Chippandees fast. Again, a very interesting article. This is one of the best article I've ever read. So these are five doctrines, five pillars around which India's energy sovereignty revolves around, and we need to know the basic meaning of these terms. Very good. Now, in strategic shifts, India's reduced oil dependence. We have already seen we are dependent more on Russia, but again, that is not a very good thing because Russia is very volatile. You can see all these things. 21st century advantage. This editorial, sir, he's saying that India's sovereignty rests on five pillars. You have to make a note of these five pillars: coal gasification, biofuel, nuclear, green hydrogen, and pumped hydro, which we have discussed. And who will be the true superpower? Who has uninterrupted, affordable indigenous energy? And we have to focus and work on these five pillars as fast as we can, and then only our energy sovereignty will be secured. So again, a very interesting outlook on this whole energy security or scenarios thing. Have a look at the satat we have discussed. Then the green hydrogen part. Let's solve some question. First question of the day. Please revise this article again, this editorial again. With reference to pumped hydro storage, consider the following statement. Stored energy in the form of gravitational potential energy of water, it can be used to stabilize the grid during renewable energy fluctuation. Hannah has given the answer. Rishi has given the answer. So yes, pumped hydro storage. What I told you, in the pumped hydro storage, you transfer water from low reservoir to high reservoir. So in a way, you're storing energy in the form of gravitational potential energy. This potential energy will be converted into kinetic energy during the time of peak demand. So yes, you're storing energy in the form of potential energy, but you are converting this energy in the form of kinetic energy. So this is correct. Pumped hydro storage, they store energy in the form of gravitational potential energy of water when they are transferring water from low reservoir to high reservoir. And when they're releasing water from high reservoir to low reservoir, thereby rotating turbines and generating electricity, they're converting this stored potential energy into kinetic energy and thereby generating electricity. So first statement is correct. It can be used to stabilize grid. Correct. Whenever they use this word can, the potential becomes very high. That the statement is correct. So it happens in UPSC as well. So the answer is C, both. I know why, Hannah and Rishi, they were confused because it's potential energy which is written, storing in the form of potential energy, releasing in the form of kinetic energy. Are you people understanding what we are discussing here? Again, an interesting and a tricky point. It was a tricky article. Am I clear, sir and ma'am? Chapandis, fast. MCQ2. That was a tough question. Green hydrogen is produced using. Hmm. So green hydrogen is produced using. Very good, Hannah. Electrolysis of water with renewable energy. That is green hydrogen. Next article of the day. Very good, Hannah. Very good, Anandu. Very good, Rishi. Next article of the day. GDP growth quickens to 5 quarter high of 7.8%. So currently, yesterday we have talked about IIP, index of industrial production. We have talked about index of 8 core industries, and so currently the situation is good. Anyway, this whole GDP growth rate is of the last quarter. Things will change in this particular quarter when this whole 50% tariff of America will come into picture. But RBI is very, very hopeful. And we have talked about the the solution also of this whole tariff thing, how we have to increase domestic consumption, how multi-ministerial coordination has to happen, how we have to diversify our export sector, go beyond US, use the FTAs. So our government is very, very hopeful that this GDP growth rate will continue. Now, what is important from exam perspective here when we're talking about this particular article? GDP, then you have NDP, then you have GNP. then you have NNP. So these words are important from exam perspective. UPSC will never ask you the numbers. Other exam may do, but UPSC will never ask you the numbers. So GDP, gross domestic product, total production of all goods and services within the country. Doesn't matter who is producing it. Resident, non-resident, doesn't matter. The keyword here is within the country it should be produced. So even if there is a foreign company in India, they're producing the goods within our country, that will be included in GDP. So total production of all goods and services produced by resident or non-resident, doesn't matter, within the country. What is NDP? GDP minus depreciation. Depreciation means you have some, capital goods. They are getting depreciated every year. You have a laptop. So maybe the time period is 10 years. So every year it is getting depreciated 1/10 of its value. So you will subtract the depreciation, you will get net domestic product. Then GNP. So GNP is GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad. So net factor income from abroad means, let's say Anil Kapoor, he went to US to film Mission Impossible, or Tom Cruise came to India. So NFI is net factor income. Or let's say in West Asia, we have so many people working there. So they are sending remittances. So, and then taking that remittances, subtracting it, like, and let's say we got 100 rupees from West Asia, USA combined. And then some people of Western origin, some foreigners, they were earning in India and they send that money back to their country. So let's say that was 40. So the 60 rupees is NFIA, which will be added to GDP and we'll get gross national product. Then you have net national product, which is GNP minus, again, depreciation. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind. Very good, Anandu. Anandu is such a good boy. So these are some things which are important from exam perspective. The rest are all data and figure. The important data, this is fine. India recorded 7.8% growth in April, June 2025. And but yesterday's article, IIP and ICI, have a look at that. That is more important when it comes to fact and figures. Impact of US 50% tariffs on India's import will be modest. And according to Chief Economic Advisor, we have to wait and see. Always, government will always pose a rosy picture. If they say that no, we'll be doomed, everything will fall. Anyway, I have invested in SIP and my money is getting reduced with each passing day. So we are feeling the pinch of it, but obviously government has to be optimistic. Domestic spending, and we have talked about how we have to counter this tariff yesterday. Demand growth, blah, blah, blah. You can read all these things. Now, let's talk about something very interesting here. So in the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about, GST multiple number of times, how we want to have two tax slabs, how we want to bring, 28% tax slabs maximum item to 18%. Maybe that has to do with this whole US thing. We want to increase our domestic consumption. Yesterday we have discussed one of the three ways by which we can counter this US 50% tariff is increasing our domestic consumption. Maybe this decrease in indirect tax, decrease in GST is to, increase the domestic consumption, thereby, in a way countering US 50% tariff. Again, a very, very welcome point which we are understanding from this article. People, Arindu, Rishi, Hannah, and others, did you understand this particular point of view? Why GST rate is being reduced? Why government will face so much reduction in GST? Still, they are not that much concerned about it. This has to do with the tariff thing. They want to increase the domestic consumption, thereby countering the decrease in export, thereby not impacting our economy much. Am I clear, Chepandis? Please, I clear. If I'm clear, then we will move forward. So again, according to CEA, full growth estimate is retained. Whatever they have planned or whatever growth projection they had done earlier, the same growth projection, they feel like that will go on. So we will not allow this 50% tariff to hamper our growth rate. Then manufacturing grew at the blah, blah, blah. You can read these things. But please have a look at the point means facts and figures, which we have discussed yesterday. Those facts and figures are important. And then GDP, NDP, GNP, NNP, those are the things which are important. So what is the summary of this article? India's growth rate in the first quarter was good, and we are hoping that US tariff will not impact us much by using the three solutions which we have discussed yesterday. MCQ 3. And if you like this video, share it, subscribe it, kill it. Sometimes I hear my own voice and I'm like, oh my god. So gross domestic product. Hannah has given the answer. Gross domestic product includes value of goods and services produced within domestic boundaries by residents only. Value of goods and produces produced by nationals, whether in India or abroad. Value of goods and services produced within domestic boundaries by both resident and non-resident. So Hannah and Anandu, they have given the answer. The answer is C. PYQ 4. This is one random PYQ which I have taken. So I have decided every day I will take two random PYQs from different subjects so that I'm covering other subjects also, which are in general not covered by current affairs. So this is one question. Just take a guess, bro. Just take a guess. Even if you're getting it wrong, doesn't matter. This is a question related to albedo. So this will be your homework. Today you have to read about albedo, which is a geography or geographical concept, which generally we will not read when we are doing or dealing with current affairs. So it's better if I take some random PYQs of different subjects. I'll be covering almost all the subjects, and thereby I will also be telling you what are the areas which you have to focus also on in static portion. Dynamic is fine, current affairs is fine, but at the same time you have to also focus on your dynamic is fine, but you have to also focus on the static portion. So what do you understand by this particular question? Oh my God, Hannah Madhubala, Madhubala, Madhubala. So Madhubala is here, and she is one of our awesome students. So yes, this is albedo. This is about reflectivity, and land covered with fresh snow, they have higher albedo. So reflectivity property, which entity will reflect light the most. So snow reflects light the most, and that's why maybe you have seen people when they go to hilly areas, let's say in snowy areas, they wear sunglasses because light is getting reflected so much from snow that it can impact your eyes. On the other hand, the objects which are black in color, they have lesser albedo. Rather than reflecting, they absorb a lot of light, and that's why people say in summer you should not wear black clothes because it will be absorbing a lot of light. Oh my God. So keep these points in mind. C is the answer, Mamta. So Hannah, Mamta, Madhubala, all of you have tried this question. Albedo. Read albedo. This is your homework. And land covered with fresh snow, it has the highest albedo. MCQ 5. So gross national product is obtained by. So we have talked about GDP. There is an order. Follow this order. It will help you in remembering stuff. GDP, NDP, then GNP, and then NNP. So GDP, NDP, they are connected. GNP and NNP, they are connected. You can say all of these things are connected to each other, but just for simplifying things. So what is GNP? GNP is GDP plus NFIA. So adding net factor income from abroad to GDP. So as stated by, oh my God, so many people. So this is not, what was GDP? Like value of goods and services within the country produced by resident and non-resident. NDP is GDP minus depreciation. GNP is GDP plus NFIA, and NNP is GNP minus depreciation, right? So what they're asking GNP, so GDP plus NFIA. So the answer is B, as stated by Hannah and Anandu. Mamta also tried it, very good. Again, if you like this video, share it, subscribe it, kill it. We have to become very big, And yeah, Hindu analysis PDF, you can buy it from me, 199 per month, because I need your support to continue this Hindu analysis. You can be a part of my mentorship program at 4999, and this will be applicable till the time you crack UPSC CSE, be it 1 year from now, 2 year from now, 3 year from now, 4 year from now, and it will include anything and everything, mains, answer, evaluation, this and that. You can also donate if you feel like I'm contributing to your knowledge base. Coming on to the third article, which is again an editorial, awesome. This is an awesome article. Not that awesome as the first article of the day, but still very good article when it comes to giving you so many different perspective, what is happening in China, how lottery system will go a long way in killing these coaching institute and all those stuff. They're talking about CLAT, CUET, NIT and JE exam, how it has become a lottery, how a person who is getting 91% exam means percentage is not that different from a guy who has got 97 percentage. But when it comes to JE NIT, etc., 97 percentage get a lot of leverage. That is not correct. This is creating a lot of pressure, and that is applicable for even UPSC as well, right? So this article is again awesome. Education, GS means paper 2. If you know the SDG related to education, post it in the comment section. Oh my god. So let's talk about this article. Today, these two articles gave me intellectual orgasm. I am so on fire today. So let's focus on this article. And here, this is awesome. So 70 lakh students compete annually. You can have a look at the different exams, fixed number of seats. So result is a coaching industry boom and culture of relentless pressure. Why we are talking about this? There are many institutions, I think Akash and others, branch closure happened, misconduct, this and that, student suicides. Because in Kota, I was in Kota. I did my BTech from NIT Agartala. I think I've told you people 1,000 times. In my time, there used to be an exam called as AIEEE. So I performed pathetic in IIT JEE. There was no such these exams, IIT. There was AIEEE in this. So I went to NIT Agartala. I had a branch called CSC. Then I worked as a software engineer at Samsung. So in our time also, Kota, Bansal classes was there. Now the things have changed. Some other institutions have cropped up. But the issue is still the same. JEE has 15 lakh aspirants, 18,000 seats. When I was in Kota, I used to play, I used to go to those shops which are open for 24 hours, and they will allow you to watch any number of movies. They will shut the shop, they will go away, and we'll be there for 24 hours. Oh my god, I did everything in Kota except studying. We went to Amar Punjabi Dhaba. That is the best memory I have. I still want to go back to Kota and eat. Okay, let's focus, bros. This editorial is bringing back my memories. So coaching fees 6-7 lakh for 2 years. Student, again, you can see here, students, kids, 14-year-old kid. You are putting too much pressure on them. Irodov Krotov, I have tried it, did not understand anything. I was like, HC Verma will suffice for me. Irodov Krutov is, I'm not able to do anything. Like, I'm not understanding. So they are focusing on these things. They're not even needed in BTech, bro. Results, stress, depression, suicide, and all these things. Kota has become the suicide capital of India. Some states have passed laws regulating coaching centers, but again, the problem is there. Problem is there in the exam only. And the solutions are awesome. The solutions suggested by people like, different. Oh my God, this is awesome. They say something very interesting, that luck and your like where you have born, they play a crucial role. It's, good morning. Oh my god, Shubham is Shubham only. So Kartik calling, Kartik Shubham Kashyap. I'm also Shubham. So they say that, let's say Abhishek Bachchan. Abhishek Bachchan is Abhishek Bachchan because he's born in that family. We are not saying Abhishek Bachchan is not talented. He's awesome. But, where you are born, luck plays a role, bro. And we cannot discount luck, so to say. So that is what philosopher Michael Sandel is saying. And then we'll talk about what China is doing when it comes to, countering this whole pressure on students, etc. So distinguishing between, and then the lottery system, awesome solution. So distinguishing between students scoring 91% and 97% doesn't make any sense, bro. They are all the same. 70-80% marks, if you're getting in 12th, it would suffice. So, and after that, you're ready for BTech. But we are creating hierarchies. We are creating, and again, who will take these coachings? Lakh rupees they are giving. Who will take these coachings? Well, these students. So do they have more access to ITs? Like, do they have more favorable scenarios? Yes, they do. Urban rural, can rural people get these coachings more often than not? No. Gender, regional inequalities, all these things are worsening, and that's why Thomas Chancellor, Oxfam International, they talk about inequality in India. Rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer. And this whole coaching industry, this whole education system, in a way, is proliferating that whole thing. We are not solving the issue. We are just amplifying it. Socially, again, you can see here, fuels illusion of meritocracy. This is not meritocracy, bro. You are born in a rich family. You have been provided everything. Obviously, you will be intelligent. Privilege is wealth. Psychologically leads to immense pressure. Philosopher Michael Sandel, he argues for lottery at elite institution to reduce obsession. Before you say something about lottery, hear me out. Hear Michael Sandel out. What he's saying. So let's try to understand. So what is lottery system? First of all, let's make a prerequisite 80%, and then we will talk about you entering, let's say, IIT Kharagpur. So you have got 80%. Now let's say there are three students. One student has got, oh my god, I'm writing behind me. So let's say one student has got 95%, other has got 80%, and one has got 90%. So in lottery system, what will happen? All three will be applicable for applying to IIT Kharagpur. 95% will 95% will get 5 lottery tickets. 80% will get 1 lottery ticket. 90% maybe will get 3 lottery tickets. Now the person who has got higher percentage, he will have more lottery tickets, thereby higher chance of getting admission in a particular institution. Lottery tickets. So there will be lottery, whether you will be taken in or not, and something like that, which particular stream you will be getting this and that. So if you have more lottery tickets, you have higher chances of winning. That you can do in lottery system, because believe it or not, according to Michael Sander and other people, there is luck, there is luck, bro. You cannot discount luck. There is luck. Meritocracy is there, hard work is there, but luck is there. And we are not the only one who are saying it. In Dutch, in Netherlands, they have used this lottery system since 1992, 72 rather, and revived in 2023. Minimum grade threshold, I have told you, let's say 80%. If you have got 80%, then you will be enrolled in any of the IITs. Lottery, higher grades, so you have more lotteries, and then you have better odds. So that is a system, Dutch weighted lottery, and it ensured fairness. What is your view on this Dutch weighted lottery? Did you understand this whole thing? Then we'll talk about China's double reduction policy. Chipandi Saran ma'am. And if you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe it, kill it. You have to, there should be a time. What are the solution to cure this weapon of institution system, sir? Yeah, that is what we are talking, Shubham. That the system is make it a lottery system. That will reduce reliance on coaching industry, so to say. So let's say in 12th you're getting 80% marks, you are eligible for different IITs. Then based on what percentage you have got, obviously the person who has got more percentage, he will get more lottery tickets, thereby better odds. So it will ensure fairness. It will reduce too much dependency which we have on the coaching sector when it comes to JEE, NIT and other exams. So hope you are understanding where we are going with this. China, they banned for-profit school tutoring, but they have introduced something known as nationalized coaching. Let's say there is an exam for JEE NET, rather than different coaching institutions in quota, let's Indian government sponsor one particular coaching. If you are good enough, if you have got decent enough marks, go there, take classes. Everybody is studying there only when it comes to coaching. And in fact, in Russia, it happens also. When you follow tennis, lawn tennis, you will realize there is a guy, Daniel Medvedev. He earlier was a very good player. Medvedev, he used to win a lot. Now he's losing a lot. So Daniel Medvedev, who is a very rich person, other people also who are very poor in Russia, they are all going to the same college because it's a socialistic model. So this nationalized coaching thing can also take care of this whole structure, which Shubham is talking about, wealthy institution system. So hope you understood China's double reduction policy and Dutch weighted lottery. Shubham, Anandu, Hannah, Mamta, Madhubala, and other people. Are you understanding what this article is talking about? What is the solution? If you have, like, let's say it's very difficult to reduce coaching altogether, so the one solution is government providing coaching. Government anyway is taking so much taxes. What is their work, bro? Just taking taxes and putting it in their pocket. They have to do something about it, right? It's not only about going to different school means nations and visiting here and there. Use the tax money, bro, for us. Suggested solution: scrap entrance exam, scrap this whole JEE NET, rely on class 12 board exam, as we have discussed, 80% this and that, lottery system, or this China double reduction policy. Let me see. So yes, sir, very good. Eligibility 80%, we have discussed. I have told you this how this lottery system will work. 50% of seats now, reservation etc., it can continue in this whole thing, but you can reduce dependence on the entrance exam. If exam must continue, ban or nationalize coaching, as China is doing, and introduce student exchange across IITs. Because even in IITs, there was like IIT Kharagpur is awesome, in our time, and IIT Guwahati is not that awesome. IIT Guwahati is awesome. We used to go from an IIT Agartala to IIT Guwahati, but compared to IIT Kharagpur, now the criteria is older IITs are much better than newer IITs. So to ensure that these things are not happening, ensure faculty transfer, student exchange for proper uniform standards. So again, these are some awesome things. Very good. Let's focus, bros. Again, an awesome editorial on education system of India. Path forward: lottery-based admissions, free student from coaching trade mill. Many of you may not agree with this whole lottery system, but still, it is much better than what is happening right now. Reduce financial barrier. You won't have to invest lakhs and lakhs of money. So again, have a look at this whole thing. India faces a choice: continue with a toxic meritocracy or embrace fairness. 90% is not that different from 97%, and we have to ensure that. And we have to rethink India's undergraduate admission. So what is your view? Do you people agree with this lottery-based system linked to class 12 performance rather than entrance exam? Or you want this entrance exam and this whole thing to continue? Chipundis in the comment section. That means tell me. MCQ 6 of the day. Michael Sandel, whose ideas are discussed in the context of Indian education reform, is best known for which of the following views? Do you believe luck and privilege play a major role in success? Hannah, Shubham, Madhubala, Rishi, and other people. So yes, Michael Sandel, he believed that luck and privilege, it play a major role in success. Oh my God. So excessive focus on meritocracy is harmful. This is such a refreshing, argument. Many people are like, yes, hard work, bro. Hard work is one part. Luck and privilege. Shah Rukh Khan is Shah Rukh Khan. Akshay Kumar is Akshay Kumar. But it's not like we don't have better looking guys than Akshay Kumar or more hardworking guys than Akshay Kumar. It's not like he's the only one who wakes up at 4 a.m. I'm also doing the same. So yes, luck and privilege play a role, bro. B is the answer. And I mean this rat race, yeah, exactly, Hannah. Seventh, again, this is an abrupt PYQ which I have taken. I will take two abrupt PYQs every day now in Hindu analysis so that we are covering almost all subjects. So this is a closed economy question. You may be knowing about it. It's a very this question has been asked multiple times in different exams. Can't deny, but hard work is there also. Yes, very good. PYQ 7, UPSC 2011. Chipandi is fast. Chipandi is fast. That means tell me fast. Yes, luck and privilege is important in wealthy institution education. Very good, Shubham. So, closed economy. What is a closed economy? Closed economy is an economy in which neither, yeah, Hannah has stated, neither export nor import takes place. So, that is a closed economy. What, according to you, is one of the, why are we talking about this? In current scenario, it's very important because of the tariff thing. We are talking about we will not be dependent too much on export, will increase domestic consumption, etc. And that's why we have reduced GST or we are reducing the number of, tax slabs of GST. In that regard, this question becomes very important. So, as Hannah, Anandu, Madhubala, Rishi, Shubham, they are saying closed economy is an economy in which neither export nor import takes place. So, can you give me some example of any country which is like none of the country in the world is a closed economy? None. You cannot be a closed economy in this era of globalization. But there are some countries which comes very close to being called a closed economy. Any answer? Any guesses? Okay, take your guess. Many people can think about North Korea, Brazil, etc. Page number 4, Army ITBP, they conduct firepower drills in Arunachal Pradesh, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, who is responsible for guarding India-China border. So they are doing this fire drills and the exercise is named as Achuk Prahar. So in some other exam, like here, why this whole article we are talking about? Because in GS3, they talk about different forces, internal forces. And we have, I think in previous Hindu analysis, not on this channel, but some other channel, I have talked about paramilitary forces. Paramilitary forces, which has worked similar to armed forces, but they are not exactly same as armed forces. Paramilitary forces, which is now also synonymous with CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces, which has 7 forces inside it, including ITBP. So paramilitary forces, CAPF, they are handled by MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, unlike armed forces, which are handled by Ministry of Defense, right? So in the Tibetan Border Police, then you have Assam Rifles, which is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, paramilitary forces, CAPF, Assam Rifles. It is guarding India Myanmar border, and that's how it is different from ITBP. They can give you these Assam Rifles bordering, like dealing with what India Myanmar, and Indo-Tibetan Border Police, as the name suggests, India China. Then you have Sasastra Seema Bal, India Nepal, India Bhutan borders. All these are part of paramilitary forces and CAPF, India Nepal, India Bhutan. Then you have BSF. BSF is guarding border security force, again a paramilitary force, which is guarding India, Nepal, India, Bangladesh. Oh, sorry, India, Nepal, I'm saying India, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. So please remember these facts. Then you also have one CAPF, which is NSG, National Security Guards, which is also known as Black Cats, or who are also known as Black Cats, responsible for Prime Ministers, etc. security. Then you also have CRPS, Central Reserve Police Force. Then you also have, like, there are so many paramilitary forces important from GS3 perspective. And a closed economy means a national economy that does not engage. Oh my God, very good, Rishi. So India's Army Spear Corps. Now there are different corps. This particular corps of Indian Army, their headquarters is in Dimapur, Nagaland. and they are responsible for guarding our northeast. So we have these paramilitary forces who are guarding, like, let's say, different portion of northeast. But apart from that, even Indian army different corps are involved. So spear corps headquartered in Dimapur, Nagaland, and they are also guarding our northeast. They conducted a joint military exercise, Indian army and ITBP. Achoo prahar. Achuk Prahar means we are not missing any target. Where it happened in Arunachal. I was in Arunachal, Itanagar. I still have the inner line permit. I can go there and live there till December of this year. Duration 5. Okay, you can have a look at this. I have told you the things which are important from exam perspective, how different paramilitary forces are, different from each other. And let's solve some questions. MCQ 8 based on the previous article. Sometimes what happens when you're doing Hindu analysis, sleep is not complete. Today my sleep is complete, and that's why I'm very happy. So consider the following about Dutch weighted lottery system, and you see these things. We have discussed the solution for the JNet problem plaguing our country. Hannah Madhubala. It was first introduced in 72 for medical school admissions. Minimum academic threshold is required for eligibility, and higher grades improve a student's odd in the lottery. All these statements are correct. The answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. Exercise Achuk Prahar. MCQ 9. Recently news involved Indian Army Spare Corps, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Border Security Force. Which of the statement, if given above, is or are correct? Hope you also understood the difference between Border Security Force, Assam Rifles, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Sashastra Seema Bal. All these are important part of paramilitary forces, part of CAPF. So Madhubala has given the answer. Achuk Prahar, Indian Army Spare Corps, and ITBP. BSF is not involved here, so the answer is A, 1 and 2 only, as stated by Madhubala. MCQ 10. Paramilitary force primary responsibility. Very interesting question. Toughest question of the day. Madhubala. Very good, Rishi. So ITBP, Assam Rifles, SSP, PSF. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? So let's do it one by one. Indo-Tibetan Border Police. As the name suggests, obviously India-China border. This is correct. Assam Rifles, I have told you, India-Myanmar border. SSB, it is not Service Selection Board, which you go for after ND and CBS. Oh, it's okay. So it's yes, India, Nepal, India, Bhutan. This is correct. BSF is not India-Sri Lanka border, bro. BSF is India-Pakistan and India-Bangladesh. The two most like India-Bangladesh. It's not India-Sri Lanka. So fourth is wrong. So the answer is only 3. Glitching. Am I glitching? Oh, video is glitching. Shubham is saying. What about others? Hannah, Rishi, Shubham, Madhubala. Am I clear to all of you? I'm also watching it on my phone. I can see myself perfectly clear. There was one day when the video was glitching so much that I had to end the session and I have to start another session. So people do confirm. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Oh, video is glitching. In between buffering was good. Good now. Cool. Let's move on to the next article. Next article. Yeah. So Ice Age era dragonfly has been rediscovered in. Okay. Cool. So Ice Age era dragonfly has been rediscovered in Western Ghats. Western Ghat in 6 states of India. UPSC has already asked PYQ on it. It is one of the biggest hotspots in the world. A hotspot means there is high degree of endemism. Endemism means there are species which are found in Western Ghats which are not found anywhere in the world. Western Ghats, awesome place. So again, here we have found a dragonfly, which is generally found in the temperate region. Our region is not temperate region. We are very hot region, especially the Western Ghat region. But here also in the high altitude region, we have found a particular dragonfly. Now we have to understand environment anyway is a hot favorite of UPSC. Audible and visible, sir. So again, species rediscovery, odontologist. Now there are terms here: ornithologist, paleontologist, or ornithologist, paleontologist, who are odontologists. So odontologists are, studying a specific species of insects which are known as odonators or something. So again, species. They're species means studying these insects and these flies. So they are odontologists. Do remember it in some exam. They can ask you this particular thing. So again, misidentification issue. So there were different types of means dragon firefly, and this is one specific fly. You can see here. Again, we don't have to do PhD here. This is not important. The species Cervila or Aethra, we are not focused here. We are more focused on the Western Ghat part, in the endemism part. The only thing which you have to keep in mind what it is. It is a Crocothermis Aethra. Again, even if you forget it, don't worry. Let's focus on the thing. I will tell you what is important. Munnar High Range. I still want to go to Munnar. It's in Kerala. Very awesome place. So again, let's focus. So controversy. Earlier they were confused. See, understand one thing. So in India, this particular insect, if we call it insect, there is one species which is very prominent. This one, C. cerviela. So earlier, this C. erythraira is found in Europe and all, as you can see here, Europe, Asia, and Himalayas. So we were like, no, in Western Ghats we cannot find it, and many people were like, this erythraira is not erythraira, this is cervilia. But now the confusion has been removed. It is actually erythraira. Again, we don't have to do the PhD here in this whole thing. What is important is this: Western Ghat, and how many states they are covering. They are covering 6 states. You have to name all these 6 states in the comment section. Plus, what is important, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is a biodiversity hotspot. Endemism. In the previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about keystone species. We have talked about indicator species, umbrella species, flagship species. God knows how many species. So endemic species are those species which are not found anywhere else. So it has a high level of endemism. Lion-tailed macaw, etc. Now again, there is a homework for you. Lion-tailed macaw, what is the IUCN status? UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it. Solve that particular PYQ on lion-tailed macaw. Cool. Rivers, many rivers originate from this region. Now let's solve one UPSC PYQ based on the knowledge which we have just gained. PYQ 11 of the day, asked by UPSC in 2017. In India, the Himalayas do option elimination. Forget about everything. Let's say you have not read about Pulika, doesn't matter. Just think about your, and this will happen in exam also. When you're seeing a particular question, you may feel like you know one particular statement, two particular statement. Based on that knowledge, your existing knowledge, you have to solve the question. So in India, the Himalayas are spread over 5 states only. Western Ghats are spread over 5 states only. Pulicat Lake is spread over 2 states only. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? So let's focus. What we know for sure in this question, Western Ghats are not spread over 5 states. We know 6 states. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, do option elimination. You're left with three only, one and three only. Now, one question which I have been asked a lot, that's whenever we are stuck between two options, let's say three only, one and three only. So 50% probability is there, right? So you have like increased your probability from 25% to 50%. Always try to do those questions. Think about it multiple number of times. I've also, like, you can see my prelims mark sheets in this channel and other channels. So I had good marks in prelims, more than 110. And again, I'm not pumping, I'm not showing off. Maybe I am a little bit. So I used to follow, and many people do that, which is known as 3210 method. which is a sure shot method. One of, like, most of the people, UPSC people who are cracking UPSC pre, they follow this 3210 method. So you can watch my video on what is this 3210 method, and you should solve those questions where you have 50% probability. So now we have eliminated two options, A and C, three only, one and three only. In India's Himalayas, let's say we don't know how many states Himalayas are spread over. Think about Himalayas. From Jammu and Kashmir region, it is going till Arunachal and this and that. So is it spread only over 5 states? Think about it. Do the calculation. You will realize that, okay, no, there can be more states involved. Now, how many states Himalayas are spread over? I am not telling you this. This is your homework. You also have to read about Pulicat Lake. But even if you think about Himalayas, their extent, their reach, you will realize that maybe there's a very high probability that Himalayas are spread over, more states. So what is the answer? Or maybe now the answer will be changed. Do check that out. Himalayas are spread over how many states, and write it in the comment section, because Jammu and Kashmir, when in 2017 UPSC asked this question, at that time JNK was a state. It's no longer a state. So this is your homework. Find out Himalayas are spread over how many regions. But when they asked this question in 2017, JNK was a state, and it was not spread over 5 states only. It is more than that. It was more than that. So first is wrong, and the answer is B3 only. So what I'm trying to tell you here, even though you have limited knowledge, even though you have only only one statement out of the three, you can even then eliminate two options and give yourself 50% probability, which is actually a very high probability when it comes to UPSC exam. Now your homework is to read about Himalayas and Pulicat Lake. Cool. MCQ 12. So with reference to CAPF, again try to do option elimination. This is the homework for you people. Try to think of this particular question. If you know the answer, post it in the comment section. I will discuss this on Monday. Today is Saturday, right? So we'll meet on Monday at 8 a.m. and we'll have a discussion on this MCQ 12. MCQ 13 also. The term black cat is often seen in news associated with. So I used to, read a comics which is known as Super Commando Dhruv. I loved him, and he had maybe not a girlfriend. She was a black cat. Natasha or something. She was the daughter of Grandmaster Robo. If you have not, read Super Commander 3, you may not be knowing what I'm saying. So Black Cat, often seen in news, is associated with what? Again, if you know it, post it in the comment section. 12 and 13 MCQ. This is your homework. If you like this video, share it, subscribe it, spread the word. I am totally dependent on you people. How long this Hindu analysis will carry on depends on you people, your love, your affection. Otherwise, I have to go and join some institute. I don't want to do that. Again, you can be a part of my Telegram family, which is not very active right now because I'm very, very busy with different things. And you can post your score. Today we have done a record questions, like 13 questions, and 11 we have done today, and like 2 is homework for you. And you can buy this Hindu analysis PDF at 199 per month or 9 per day, thereby continuing your support. You can also be a part of my mentorship program at 4999. There is no limit to the length of the time, depends on when you clear UPSC CSE. And again, you can also donate. So these are different ways by which you can support me. Thank you for your, thank you, Shubham. Oh my God, I feel it's so unique. Shubham Kashyap. You have the same name as me. And ठीक है Sharan ma'am, I'm going now. I will see you people on Monday at 8 a.m. Tata. Bye bye.